Previous day, we have discussed about definition of agriculture, and we have also discussed about the main features of different types of farming. We are shifting agriculture, primitive subsistence, intensive subsistence, extensive or commercial, and plantation. These are the main types of farming prevalent all over the world. And the word shifting itself describes about the nature of the farming type. The farmers shift from one place to another at regular interval, and they return back to their original field after 10 or 12 years or after certain years. And in shifting agriculture, they move from one field to another field. Before entering a new field or new plot, they adopt slash and burn technique. What is that slash and burn technique? On reaching a new field, they slash the bushes or weeds or unwanted plants, then they burn it. Previous day I asked you the question, will they burn the slash bushes, twigs, or crops or unwanted weeds same day? Or they will burn it after 3 or 4 days once when they wilt, once when they become dry and they are easy to burn. In shifting agriculture, the farmers adopt very simple methods of farming. So shifting agriculture farm techniques are mostly similar to primitive subsistence. In primitive subsistence also, they adopt very simple method dependent on natural rainfall, natural manure, human labor or animal labor is used. And mostly the food grains are produced. And the main motive is to sustain their livelihood. Whatever is their need, basic need of food, cloth and shelter, they grow the crops to up to that extent only. They do not have the concept of earning any profit or stockpiling the food grains and to export it or commercialize the activity. So shifting agriculture and primitive subsistence agriculture, only difference is that in primitive subsistence farming, the farmers remain on the same field, whereas in shifting agriculture, the farmers move from one field to another field. And shifting agriculture is a common feature in the dense forest and hilly areas. Those countries, those areas which are forested, which are hilly and which are having not much higher population pressure, in those areas, shifting farmers, shifting cultivators were found. Nowadays, the population is growing. The need to increase food production has forced the shifting cultivators also to remain in the same field. And at present, the government interference is also there. You can say from administrative point of view, the farmers moving from one field to another field is not allowed because there is ownership of the plots or ownership of the agricultural lands, and each of them belong to the respective farmer. So shifting cultivators or shifting agriculture is a declining practice. So in the days to come, we will not find much of shifting cultivators or shifting farming. In primitive subsistence farming, the farmers adopt the simple methods of farming. They use stake, hoe, these are the tools. Then they use animal and human labor. They depend on monsoonal rainfall for farming. Mostly food crops, food grains are their priority, and they are growing the food only for their self-requirement. So subsistence word means that production is done for self-requirement or self-sustenance. This is the two characteristics already discussed about primitive subsistence agriculture and shifting agriculture. Now next farming type is intensive subsistence farming. We have to understand meaning of two terms. Intensive means that the same agricultural field is cultivated several times in a year. We have already discussed this in our previous video about intensive subsistence farming. Subsistence means production done for self-requirement. And in intensive subsistence farming, this type of farming is at present seen in those areas where population density is high, availability of land is less, and therefore the farmers have to cultivate the same field several times in a year to increase the food production and to sustain the high density of population of a particular area. In spite of cultivating the same land for 2 or 3 times, still the farmers are not able to export, still they are at sustenance level only, and adopting all the modern methods like use of high-yielding variety seeds, pesticides, chemical fertilizers, and machines. In spite of all these modern inputs, still the nature, still the status of farming is subsistence. That means only whatever is produced is consumed by the local population only, and there is not much scope to export. So there may be a question related to this question: intensive and primitive subsistence, how they are different from each other. Question may come: distinguish between intensive subsistence and primitive subsistence farming. So if that is the question, then you can answer by giving the important features of primitive subsistence, and you can also mention the important features of intensive subsistence. Next is extensive or commercial farming. So extensive, commercial, and plantation, they are very similar in nature. There is very thin line of separation between these farm techniques, and we will learn that in extensive farming, the plots are much bigger as compared to the amount of money or labor spent. जमीन जो है वो काफी बड़े होते हैं एक्सटेंसिव एग्रीकल्चर में, और ये तब संभव है जहां पॉपुलेशन कम हो और देश का क्षेत्रफल, the area of the country is much bigger in size, the population is less. One example is Russia, Canada, USA. These are the biggest countries in the world: Russia, Canada, USA, Brazil, China, Australia. These are some of the countries bigger than India, and except China, most of the countries have comparatively less population growth, and therefore availability of land is high. That in those countries, extensive agriculture is practiced. So in extensive agriculture, the farm may be 100 of hectares or 1,000 of hectares, and machines are necessary at all stages of farming. If you want to plow the field, you have to plow the field with machine. Otherwise, you cannot complete plowing, then sowing, then harvesting, then packaging, marketing. Entirely the farm operations are mechanized. So machines are used at all stages, and it is an indicator of much advanced economy of the world. And mostly the developed countries like USA, Japan, and UK, Canada, France, Russia, these are the countries which practice extensive agriculture. However, it is not a reservation. It is not at all their monopoly to do such practice. In India also, we are doing collective farming, and in Punjab, Haryana also, we have seen extensive farms and extensive mechanization. Yield per hectare is high, and we are also capable of exporting the food grains and earning profit. So we have improved and we have changed our agricultural status also in law. So we have learned from the Western countries how to improve our agriculture sector. Extensive agriculture, and reminding you that the fields are very big and machines are necessary at all stages of farming, and other modern scientific methods and inputs are regularly used. The farmers are educated, they spend a lot of money in research and development, and they earn huge profit through export of food grains. So these are the main features, main characteristics of extensive agriculture, commercial agriculture. Another similar farming type is plantation agriculture. The most important feature of plantation agriculture is that it is a single tree or crop farming. In plantation agriculture, we choose a single variety of crop. Suppose it is tea farm, or it is rubber or coconut, or any one particular crop is only grown in a large field, and it is similar to an industry where the farmers are replaced by skilled and trained workers. So in plantation agriculture, the farmers are replaced by workers who have qualification, who have they are knowledge of doing a particular work similar to an industry. So plantation is modernized version of extensive agriculture, and that is also capital intensive, and there is scope of export, and they mostly cater to the need of industry. Suppose there is a tea garden. A tea garden does not wait for the local people to come and purchase tea. Whatever tea is produced, that is ordered by big industrial houses or big companies who market tea and purchase the entire tea from the tea garden. Just like that, another crop is rubber. So for rubber, there is no local consumer. Local people will not purchase rubber. So big tire companies or big companies who want rubber as their raw material, so they place their order, they book the entire garden, and whatever harvest comes out of it, they take it. So plantation agriculture is similar to industry, and the same, all the stages of farming is managed by a single organization. These are the features discussed. I will now ask you some questions, or if you have any doubt, then you can ask me. In case there is any doubt, you can ask me. Next topic, we will learn about types of. You can prepare your own notes from the textbook of NCERT and relate to the farming types. 3 or 4 points will be sufficient to answer 3 marks or 4 marks question. Now we will learn about types of crops. Here we will write crops. Can anyone tell me any example of cereal? What do you understand by a cereal crop? I give you one example. I write rice. Can you tell me any other cereal? Cereal, pulses, oilseed, fibers, beverages. These are the types of crops which we will write down the example that we will understand about them. I have written one crop, rice. Can anyone tell me? I give you hint W. No response from 10th grade. Very good. Komal says wheat. Next is rice wheat. I give you one MAI. Rest you have to tell me MAI. Which crop will be a cereal crop? MAI. Komal says maize. MAIZ, and I add one E. Maize is also known as corn, makka, bhutta. So rice with maize, and you can write down about barley. And you can write about corn. some of the important cereal crops is noted down here. So rice, wheat, maize or corn, barley, oat, these are some cereal crops. You can tell me about pulses. I give you one. Now you can tell me the other pulses. Who can tell me the name of the pulses? Most of the pulses will be Indian name. You can unmute and you can give your response quickly. Don't waste the time.
Sir, chana dal.
Chana, okay. Any other? Any other dal that is consumed? Any other pulses that is cooked in your home? Arhar or rahar? Masoor. Moong, masoor, chana, arhar. Urad. So we wrote down some important pulses like moong, chana, right? And these are also known as pulses, lentils. They are very important as a rotation crop. They restore the fertility of the soil in a natural manner. So, who can tell me what is there in their root of the pulses that helps in fixing nitrogen? कोई बता सकते हो pulses के रूट में कुछ खास कोई स्पेशल पार्ट होते हैं जो नाइट्रोजन को फिक्स करते हैं? Who can tell me? And that is why after any main crop, we grow pulses as a rotation crop. Suppose if we have grown wheat, we will grow pulses. Then we will choose rice. Then we will again grow pulses. And then again we will grow wheat. Before growing or in between two main crop, we grow pulses as a rotation crop. So उनके root में एक rhizobium होते हैं. उनके rhizobium एक मॉड्यूल जैसा होता है, उसके अंदर में एक पर्टिकुलर बैक्टीरिया होते हैं जो कि नाइट्रोजन को फिक्स करते हैं. So the roots of pulses have rhizobium nodules, and these nodules are rich in a particular bacteria. You can ask your bio teacher, even your science teacher can also tell. And that bacteria fixes the atmospheric nitrogen into the soil, and that nitrogen is very essential for plant growth. ये हो गए pulses. चलो oil seeds को बताओ हमें. oil नारियल का तेल, coconut oil. Name some oil seeds. सरसों का तेल, sunflower, coconut. Can you tell me some other oil seeds? Sesamum is known as til. In Gaya, we grow this sesamum or til, and til is used for tilkut and several other delicacies, several other condiments are made out of it. So sesamum or til is also an oil seed. Other oil seeds are linseed, rapeseed, soybean, groundnut, mustard, sunflower, coconut, castor, like that. तो बहुत सारे ऑयल सीड्स है, और इसमें हम लोग जो है वेजिटेबल ऑयल या अदर ऑइंटमेंट के लिए या मेडिसिन पर्पस के लिए या कुकिंग पर्पस के लिए या कॉस्मेटिक्स बनाने के लिए हम ऑयल सीड्स का यूज करते हैं. तो ऑयल सीड्स several many more examples can be found out. आलमंड है क्या? क्या आलमंड है? कैस्टर है, आमंड है ना। तो इस तरह से बहुत सारे हैं ऑयल बियरिंग सीड्स, दे आर आल्सो इंपॉर्टेंट क्रॉप्स ऑफ स्टडी। नेक्स्ट इज फाइबर क्रॉप, वी विल लर्न अबाउट कॉटन। कैन एनीवन टेल मी अदर फाइबर क्रॉप? The competitor of natural fiber cotton. Next one is, I give you hint, I have written J. Can you tell me the crop? You can unmute. You can write in your chat which one. Very good. Only one response coming from Komal. What about the rest? Only 7 students are there. Next year. Next time you silk obtained from mulberry. So these are some other fiber crops. The most important fiber crop is cotton, followed by jute. Most important from commercial point of view is silk. Processing needs several special techniques and skills. Jute production is not so much as advanced as cotton and jute. We cannot produce that in higher quantity. Nowadays, we are mixing the artificial fiber and the natural fiber, and we get several mixed varieties of fibers, and they are used for manufacturing. Swastik, are you telling something to me? So here we have learned about some fiber crops. So cotton and jute is most important. In book we will be mainly concerned with cotton and jute only. Next category is beverage. So beverage means those crops which are used for preparing a kind of drink, aromatic drink or fragrant drinking purpose. So tea, coffee, cocoa are the example of beverage. Here we will note down tea, coffee, and cocoa are the beverage crops, and we will learn about rice, tea. We will learn about cotton and learn about tea and coffee. So in book you will learn about the favorable conditions for growing rice and wheat. We will learn about cotton and jute. We will learn about tea and coffee. Then some cash crops are there like sugar cane. Then we will learn about millets. The 3 crops, jowar, bajra, and ragi, are known as millets or coarse grains. So here we have noted down few examples, and we will discuss in detail about the conditions favorable for growing rice, for growing wheat, for growing cotton, jute, which are the states which lead in the production of rice or wheat or cotton, jute, and tea and coffee. So what type of soil, how much will be the rainfall, how much temperature is suitable for growing tea, coffee, rice, wheat, jute, sugarcane. So in this way, from the book, we will learn the details of several crops. So that part is done. It's already 30 minutes, and none of you are telling me about any doubt. If there is book, and during my offline class, I will discuss about the crops which is mentioned in your book. At home also, you can note down the main features favorable for growing rice, the features, conditions favorable for growing wheat. In that way, you can prepare your plaster copy. I will discuss new topic today, which which is new topic here in the same agriculture chapter. Can you read the board? What is written here? So, can we understand about backwardness of agriculture through poor farmers, illiterate farmers? They do not have their own money. Now tell me, is our government supporting agriculture sector?
Yes, sir.
गवर्नमेंट सपोर्ट अभी करते हैं क्या? लगता है पहले भी करते थे?
No, sir.
पहले नहीं करते थे। गवर्नमेंट को ही नहीं पता था कि एग्रीकल्चर में करना क्या है, इस सेक्टर को डेवलप कैसे करें। आवर गवर्नमेंट इनिशियली सून आफ्टर इंडिपेंडेंस for the first 5 or 6 years they were preparing how to improve agriculture sector, and the steps really shown result after 10 or 15 years of planning and implementation of that plan and allotment of capital in the agriculture sector. पहला 15-20 साल के बाद हमारे देश में एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर में सुधार नजर आए हैं। सबसे ज्यादा एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर में इंप्रूवमेंट दिखा 1968-69 के बाद। 1968-69 में हम लोग ग्रीन रेवोल्यूशन टेक्नोलॉजी लेके आए थे, और ग्रीन रेवोल्यूशन टेक्नोलॉजी को अप्लाई करके उसका रिजल्ट आते आते हमको 10 से 15 साल और लग गए, और ये इतना पॉपुलर हो गया कि आज के डेट में ग्रीन रेवोल्यूशन जो है इंडिया के हर कोने कोने तक ग्रीन रेवोल्यूशन टेक्नोलॉजी का रिजल्ट हमें देखने मिलता है। सो इन दिस टॉपिक वी विल लर्न अबाउट सर्टेन टेक्नोलॉजिकल इंस्टीट्यूशनल रिफॉर्म्स। तो पहले जो किसान थे वो केवल मॉनसूनल रेनफॉल पर डिपेंड करते थे। जब ग्रीन रेवोल्यूशन टेक्नोलॉजी आया तो उसमें सजेस्ट किया गया इरिगेशन का, तो हम जो है एक सुधार लाए कि हम बरसात का इंतजार नहीं करते थे, हम जमा किया हुआ पानी को कैनल से या ट्यूबवेल से जो है इरिगेट करने लगे, और तो उसका बेनिफिट मिलने लगा। पुराने समय के किसान जो है वो नेचुरल ऑर्गेनिक मैन्योर यूज करते थे, तो वो नेचुरल मैन्योर का प्रोडक्शन लिमिटेड होता है, बहुत स्लो होता है, रिजल्ट भले अच्छा आता है, लेकिन हमें एक सब्स्टिट्यूट मिला कि कोई कंपनी यूरिया बनाने लगी, सुपर फॉस्फेट बनाने लगी, अमोनिया डाई अमोनियम फॉस्फेट जो है उस तरह के फर्टिलाइजर्स हमको प्रोड्यूस करके दिए, उसके छिड़काव करने पर हमको जो है बहुत क्विक रिजल्ट मिलने लगा। तो हम लोग जो है कुछ टेक्नोलॉजी में बदलाव किए, कुछ इंस्टीट्यूशन ओपन किए, जैसे हम लोग फ्लड कंट्रोल डिपार्टमेंट बना लिए। तुम में से किसी को लगता है कि बाढ़ पे नियंत्रण करना चाहिए एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर को बचाने के लिए, उसको मजबूत बनाने के लिए? Who can tell me, is flood control necessary to improve the status of agriculture sector? या कोई ऐसा डिपार्टमेंट का जरूरत ही नहीं है, बाढ़ आया और सारे पौधे बह गए तो उससे क्या गरीब किसान का नुकसान हुआ, इसमें देश का क्या बिगड़ा?
No, sir, it's needed.
अच्छा, तो हम लोग क्या किए, इंडिपेंडेंस के बाद हम लोग फ्लड कंट्रोल डिपार्टमेंट बनाए, इरिगेशन डिपार्टमेंट बनाए, हम लोग एग्रीकल्चरल यूनिवर्सिटी बनाए हैं। तो क्या एग्रीकल्चरल यूनिवर्सिटी हमको कुछ रिसर्च करके, राइस रिसर्च, पोटैटो रिसर्च, कुछ फ्रूट रिसर्च, सिल्क रिसर्च, ऐसा कुछ इंस्टीट्यूट होंगे जो रिसर्च करके हमको बेहतर प्रोडक्ट दे सकते थे, कंपटीशन में टिक जाए और हम मार्केटिंग करें। क्या इनकी जरूरत थी? क्या एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर में भी रिसर्च हो सकता है? यूनिवर्सिटी में लोगों को पढ़ाया जा सकता है हाई यील्डिंग वैरायटी सीड के बारे में, क्रॉप केयर के बारे में, क्रॉप डिजीज का मुकाबला करने के लिए क्या ऐसे कुछ पढ़ाई हो सकते थे? एक पढ़ा लिखा किसान अगर क्वालिफाइड फार्मर है तो वो जो है उनका अप्रोच टू द एंटायर फार्मिंग विल बी डिफरेंट। एग्रीकल्चरल बैकवर्डनेस को दूर करने के लिए एजुकेशन, उसके बाद गवर्नमेंट सपोर्ट, उसके बाद हम जो है कुछ एग्रीकल्चरल यूनिवर्सिटीज और उनके रिसर्च और उनके हम लोग जो फाइंडिंग्स है उससे हम अपने सेक्टर को इम्प्रूव कर सकते थे। क्या कोई कंपनी होंगे जो हमें ज्यादा से ज्यादा ट्रैक्टर दे, हार्वेस्टर दे, थ्रेशर, कंबाइंस दे बना के, और किसानों की हालत सुधरे, एग्रीकल्चर के सेक्टर में ओवरऑल इम्प्रूवमेंट दिखे? अगर तुम एग्री करते हो तो ये सारे पॉइंट्स को हम टेक्नोलॉजिकल एंड इंस्टीट्यूशनल रिफॉर्म्स में एक एक करके लिखेंगे। पहले हमने कहा ना कि लोग मॉनसून का इंतजार करते थे, अब 12 महीने एग्रीकल्चर पॉसिबल है विद द हेल्प ऑफ इरिगेशन। पहले हम नेचुरल मैन्योर यूज करते थे, अभी हम जो है सिंथेटिक फर्टिलाइजर यूज करते हैं। पहले अनाज में कीड़े लग जाते थे, अब हम पेस्टिसाइड छिड़काव करते हैं तो अनाज में जो है कीड़े कम लगते हैं। आज मेरे पास कोल्ड स्टोरेज है, एफिशिएंट मार्केटिंग नेटवर्क है, डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन जल्दी होते हैं। तो ओवरऑल एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर में बहुत सारे हम लोगों को इम्प्रूवमेंट देखने मिले। चलो वन क्वेश्चन, क्या टीवी में वेदर फोरकास्ट होता है वो किसानों को कुछ मदद करते हैं? वेदर फोरकास्ट, साइक्लोन आने वाला है या अगले 15 दिन बारिश नहीं होगी, is the weather forecast helpful for the farmers to prepare for their agriculture in a better manner?
Yes, sir. It's helpful.
So you agree that weather forecast through radio, TV bulletin, आज टीवी में देता है ना मौसम का हाल और साइक्लोन कहाँ आ रहे हैं, कितने दिन में पहुंच जाएगा, कितना नुकसान होने की संभावना है, तो ये सब हमको पता चल जाता है। Okay, we will discuss this topic later again. Bye bye. The time is going to end soon.